Does your fantasy league have rivalry weeks? We do in Dynasty Mountain, and today we're going to talk with two owners who are going to be going up against each other in this inaugural season of Dynasty Mountain in their rivalry weeks.
Dynasty Mountain, the climb to greatness.
Welcome to the Dynasty Mountain podcast. My name is Dan Christensen, commissioner of the league. If you're new here, Dynasty Mountain is a 32-team, four-division promotion and relegation dynasty fantasy football league. Today we're joined by two owners, Steve Mickelson of Skull in New Hampshire and Al Williams of Mountain Dewskis. Both guys are in Ascension 1. They're also both Vikings fans, and that has made them rivals for this year. We're introducing Rivalry Week, which is going to be weeks 3 and weeks 10. There's 8 teams in each league, so you play each team twice. So both times you play that team, that's your Rivalry Week. It's mostly just for fun, just an added bonus to put something else on the line. There's going to be a $1 of fab given to the winners of each of those weeks. It's nothing huge, but it's something. And so today we're going to talk to them about the startup draft, as well as talk about their overall thoughts on the league so far and what they're looking forward to. All right, boys, appreciate you guys jumping on the podcast and being here to talk Dynasty Mountain with us.
Thanks for having us, Dan, man. Pretty pumped.
Yeah. Uh, really just wanted to start by kind of getting your thoughts on the startup draft. We're in the middle right now. We're at pick 825. So we're a little more than halfway, about around past the halfway mark. A little more than a weekend. So honestly, I think it's going a little faster than I expected, but I know it's probably feeling slow for a lot of people. But what have been kind of your guys' overall thoughts on the draft? Anything that's been surprising to you or anything interesting that you've found so far in this 32 team startup draft?
Yeah,
What up? What up? This
go
is
ahead,
this is
Alex.
Alex, aka the Mountain Dewskis. Um, the biggest thing for me is like I see all these trades go through, and I have to like get my brain right on like what the hell just even happened. It's like all these seconds are being sent out, and it's like I don't know, or I have to remind myself what that actually means. So that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me.
Yeah, just to clarify for anyone that's not actually in the league that's listening, like we don't have rookie picks, but we have an end of year fab bonus, and then we have the what we call a fab refresh, which is everyone gets $50 to start the new year, unless you're kind of over a certain threshold, but basically it's $50 to kind of start the year, and you can trade those, and those are represented by a first round or a second round or rookie pick, even though they're not really rookie picks. So yeah, having to remember what those actually represent and also who they're for too, because it's different. The fab refreshes are pretty much the same, but the end of year bonus is depending on what division you're in and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. What about you, Steve?
I think the thing that amazes me is just if you look through people's rosters right now, if you're just kind of bored and looking at what people have done, just how different everyone's roster is. Like we've got a guy right now that is making his first pick in the entire draft in like the eighth round, you said we were in, and it's just like it's crazy that looks like he's building for the 2027 draft. But what do those refreshes really mean to him? Does this really help him this year? Like, I mean, next year it's just really interesting to see. Also, like Alex said, the trades have just been, it's like, it's so freaking like, I've never been in a league with so many freaking trades and with the refreshes and stuff like that, it just makes everything kind of a lot nuttier, but in a good way. So it's just really sweet if you were to take some time, and I implore everyone in the league to do so, check out everyone's rosters, just see how significantly different everyone else is drafting. It's very unique.
Yeah. Yeah, well, after the draft is all over, I'll kind of go through probably, division by division and kind of do my own kind of thoughts on how everyone drafted. But yeah, if you look at it right now, like I think there's someone that maybe is already done or even only has like one roster spot left. And like you said, there's one guy that technically doesn't have a pick yet. I think he's made a few picks, but then traded them away or loaned them out. So I don't think he has any at the moment. And we're almost in the ninth round, so yeah, it's kind of all over the place. And yeah, it's been interesting to see the strategies of like some people, collecting a lot of fab, collecting those refreshes and end of year bonuses from people. Some people just going all in and just forgetting about that and just trying to get the highest draft picks possible. Yeah, we had like 100, I think it was 110, 120 trades that went down before the startup draft, and I haven't even bothered to count the ones that we had in the draft so far. It's probably not as many, but it's overall we're probably close to 200 if we're not there yet. Um, and the league's been around for 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Um, what's been your guys' kind of take on, and I don't want you guys to have to give away your strategy, but like what's been your approach to strategy of figuring out how this league works with all the scoring and the settings and all that? What's kind of been your approach to figuring that out or picking a strategy or being flexible? Like what's been your thoughts on that?
So my strategy was to kind of sit back and let other people make all these crazy moves. And then I wanted to get, since I think we're both in Ascension 1,
Mhm.
I wanted to get the highest 5 picks I could get just so I could have a competitive team to stay in Ascension 1 because I don't want to drop, all the way down to the valley, start from square one or, or the next one down. So that was basically my strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting at 110, and I just knew at 110 I wanted to walk away with a top tier running back, just knowing how thin the running back position is for top tier players. And I went with Genti at the 110, and yeah, he was I think he was RB 14 in certain formats. I could be wrong. So he was okay. He wasn't amazing, but I think the potential there is just really good. Like his ceiling is insane. And especially with Kirk Cousins for at least what we gotta say half the year, he's the check down king. And as Alex knows, we've had Kirk for quite a while, and he really enjoyed checking it down to the R&B position. So that was my strategy going in, and then I wanted to stay as young as possible, knowing that this is Dynasty. So for whatever reason, I hyper fixated on just age, which is probably the wrong strategy. So where I could have got a more proven quarterback, I went with Cam, knowing that Cam had got some new weapons. I think Cam is going to be good, and he's at a good age right now where I think I'll be able to keep him for a few years, knowing, yeah, if he's good. Otherwise, he goes to the trash can, I guess. But I really screwed the pooch because I waited too long to get a wide receiver one, and I ended up with Matt Golden, Matthew Golden, which is like blasphemy for us. Like we took a Green Bay guy, and then at all the Green Bay guys, I went with Golden, who just was not consistent last year. Um, so I just think I rolled the dice on Golden, knowing that Wicks is gone, Dobbs is gone. Golden's gonna be the wide receiver two, seeming how Green Bay runs a lot of wide receiver two sets, and Jaden looks like he's that third wide receiver. So just on this their scheme alone on the offensive side, I'm praying that Golden turns into something, but I'm probably wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like the roster settings is it's very different. Just again for anyone that's listening that isn't in the league, like we only have five starting spots, and you have to start a running back, you have to start a wide receiver, but otherwise it's all flexes. You have a super flex, so you can start a quarterback, but it's flexes, so you don't have to start a tight end. You don't have to start a quarterback, but you do have to start a running back and a wide receiver. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Everyone's going to have like kind of their top running back, their top wide receiver, and seeing kind of how that varies, from team to team. I have looked at rosters and seen a few teams that have a handful of running backs that are pretty decent, which kind of just shows that there's gonna be some teams that are gonna really struggle there. But like, the rounds that we're in right now, in like the eighth round, ninth round, 10th round, that's kind of a lot of hope. But I think there's gonna be probably some of those that end up turning into something that you weren't expecting. I think it'll be interesting to see those teams that draft well kind of late if they make some moves that really help them do better than kind of expected. So,
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about late round and just kind of getting this like these really deep guys. Strategy wise, I don't think I'm giving much away because I got a couple picks left. But these later rounds, 8, 9, 10, I'm really looking at depth charts now and seeing if I can snag a couple wide receiver twos that aren't really big names. Like I just picked up Rashad Bateman. He doesn't have a lot of competition at the wide receiver two spot. So I mean, he's never been notoriously very good, but he is going to be there. He's on the field a pretty decent amount of time. So, I'm throwing darts at those guys that I think, aren't, stars, but will be on the field.
mm, yeah, no, I think it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. What are some of the things that you guys have are excited or interested to see kind of how it plays out with just all the different settings and rules and just the whole environment of just having 32 different people that are all going to have different approaches. They're going to be buyers, there's going to be sellers, contenders, rebuilders, and I think one of the cool things about the this whole league is that it's really your four different divisions. So you're competing. You guys are both in Ascension 1 with six other people. You guys are all competing for a championship and promotion, but you can interact and trade and do stuff with the other 24 teams in the league. So what are some things in general that you guys are kind of excited about or curious to see how they'll play out?
Uh, I'm super excited for the rookie draft. A silent auction sounds amazing. For one, for two, the value, I have no idea. um, I in my mind, if you truly want to tank, you want to have like a mid team that you can loan out all your players. So then you lose, get that, the $64 I think it is for last place, and then you get, you know, at minimum 20 per starter, which is another $100. So that's $164 you get if you were to fully tank. Is that enough to get the number one guy? I don't think so, but that's what I kind of want to find out.
Yeah, I'm with Alex, man. It's gonna be wild to see what next year looks like. I'm interested to see because we're tied in premium, right?
Hmm.
And so I'm excited to see, certain strategies for certain players. Like I wanted to get a wide receiver. I mean, a top tier running back. I know other people went QB heavy. Like they wanted to get that stud QB. Just interested to see, you could tell what teams went what direction and how they fare. Just because, like you said, it's such a small roster. So the points are going to definitely vary from week to week. So excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did try to do a few different things in the scoring settings to kind of help with just the fact that we have 32 teams and it's going to be pretty deep. Um, I think the tight end premium is one, hoping that, teams can have a tight end that isn't maybe the best of the best, but they're going to be able to be someone that you can start. So I think that's helpful. We're doing, I think it's half point per first down. Um, which I think, maybe doesn't necessarily help the bottom, but I think it helps, especially if you're a team that doesn't get a quarterback, like knowing that your running backs and receivers and tight ends have a little bit of a so quarterbacks don't get half a point, but running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and then kick return scoring is another one that I think hopefully people are remembering. And I've seen a few people, I've seen some picks here and there that are some kick returners, so some things just to kind of help add some depth to the scoring to allow those some of these kind of random players in a normal dynasty league probably wouldn't be relevant, but hopefully we'll have a little bit of relevancy and make things interesting. So, um, yeah, I think the rookie draft, we were talking about that just a little bit, Steve and I, but before we started, but like, how's that going to play out? Is it going to be the person with the most fab gets the top player? They're going to bid, a dollar more than the second most fab because it is, we're going to be doing it kind of like waivers. So they could guarantee that player they could bid a dollar more than the second most, but then they might wipe out their whole budget. And will the person with the second most know that they're going to do that and intentionally not bid that amount? Hey, who knows? Like it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Or will some guys just go for depth and be like, I'm not going to even bother with one of the top few guys, but they're going to clean up, 6 through 12 and just try to get a bunch of those guys in a row. Um,
So when you were
yeah.
when you were creating this league, what did you envision the number one pick would go for? And why did you choose $64 and $2 increments?
Yeah, so I wanted to like, because since we're doing it, auction style. Originally, I was hoping that we could do like just like a regular auction draft. But I think in Sleeper, that's not a setting that you can do with rookie drafts. So rookie drafts are just, they have to be like a normal one. So, that's why I kind of switched up to this format of essentially we're going to do just every day for 50 days or so, have one player kind of on the block, and that's everyone's going to be able to bid on that player. So, yeah, I'm not really sure, for the end of year bonuses, I wanted to still have something that kind of replicates, the rookie picks because in a normal dynasty league, the bottom teams get the higher rookie picks and so I wanted to have something that kind of replicates that. So, um, yeah, I just kind of went on I thought just a 1 through 32 was probably not going to be um enough of a differentiator from the best team to the worst team, so I just doubled it. And so Yeah, the lowest team in the valley with in terms of max points for, they'll get there. I think it's $62, and then it just goes up in increments of two. So the highest max points for in the summit at the top of the league, they'll get zero. But they probably just came off of a championship or did pretty well, so they probably won't be too worried about that. But yeah, I kind of, I don't really know what it's going to look like, what is when it actually plays out, and even what the dollar amounts are going to be like. Right now, we have a few teams that are in like the 300s, 400s. We have a bunch of teams that have none. I think you guys are both on the. I was looking it up. You guys are both on the lower end. I think Alex, you have $5 right now, and Steve, you have 15. Um, Alex, I think you have a few more of the other assets. You have Andy, you have some fab refreshes and stuff. Steve, you trade a lot of those away, so you guys are going a little bit more all in, at least at the moment. So, but I think the other thing that's interesting that we haven't talked too much about is like people can collect fab for the rookie draft, but there's also a lot of other ways to use it. We have loans. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on how that's going to play out, or how you are, what your thoughts are on loans. I know some people are not a huge fan of them, and some people are excited. We've already had a couple of loans happen, but that's money that you can use, something you can use your money for as well.
I said something in the Discord chat. I don't dislike loans. I'm a very simple-minded individual, and it feels as though it's something way beyond my grasp. Alex seems to get it. He's got the money down. He knows the increments. This guy's smart. Me, I'm real simple-minded. So I'll probably stay away from loans just because my brain can't really comprehend like what do I need to spend? What am I getting? But I think it's a great concept. It definitely brings a different strategy to what we're normally used to. And it just makes this league is just so much more unique than any other league we've been in. So definitely for in that regards. But for me personally, probably gonna stay away from it until I understand. Maybe I'll connect with Alex. He can give me some tips.
We're rivals, so I don't know if I'm gonna help you, but my thought is I want to win, so I'm, I'm gonna wait it out and see if there's pieces that I need, or if Jaden Daniels goes down again, I'll probably sell sell to another winner. Try to get more money for next year.
Mhm. Yeah, I think even like the value of loans, like we've already had a couple. I think one went for Drake London went for like 55, and who was the other one? Is it was it Hampton? Was that the other loan? I think went for
Yeah.
60, 65 or 69. I think it was something like that. It'll be interesting to see like if I don't know what you guys think, if the value is going to go up, like if week 13, week 14, right before the deadline, if teams are desperate for that playoff run, if they're going to be willing to spend, double that. Or the other thing is like, are those teams that could use it, are they not going to have the fab to be able to make those kinds of moves? So that'll be interesting.
I think I lean towards teams that are making a push and want to get over the top are going to spend a decent amount of money if they have it. I'm also thinking they might not, teams that are making a run for it probably don't have a ton of fab anyways because they've made a lot of trades to get more picks to get a better team. So I don't even know if they just, like you said, might not even have the funds to do it. So super interesting to see.
Mhm.
And someone was trying to loan out Makai Lemon, and it's just like rookies don't pop off right away. It's like I don't know if I want to spend money on that and on a big risk player like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that and I wanted to make a play just for a straight up trade and it just didn't work out. I didn't want to loan money for, like you said, a guy that is a rookie and unproven. I'd rather just, I don't know. It's a tough call.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how it ended up going down. I think he did end up trading him to somebody. But then wasn't able to make it alone. Yeah, especially this early, it's hard to know. Like, I don't know. Like, if I was in the league, I don't know exactly what I would do. I probably would wait just because injuries can happen and things like that, and you want to kind of be more sure. But also, again, maybe those guys are able to get a cheaper price now than they would later. So who knows? Alex, you kind of brought it up already. That you guys are rivals. So I kind of hinted at that in the intro that we have a rivalry week that we're starting. So weeks 3 and weeks 10, for everyone, there's going to be a rival that's either based on you have similar fandom, or you have rival fandom, or we have I think somewhere there's like two accountants that are going up against each other. There's a Puerto Rico one where one guy's Puerto Rican and the other guy's wife is Puerto Rican, and so they're rivals. So um, I think that'll be fun. But um, I'll let you guys if you want to talk a little about your Vikings. I'm someone that's got a lot of Kyler Murray shares. So I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on the as Vikings fans, what your guys' thoughts are on the team going into this year.
Yeah, I mean, you and I kind of talked about it a little bit beforehand, and Alex can attest to this. If I've been a Vikings fan for 20 plus years, we know misery, we know letdown, we know heartache. We've had some true ups and some massive downs. So this year, I'm going into it like I normally do, like hope for the best and just understand that it's probably not going to work out. With that said, I am excited for Kyler. I was very hopeful for JJ. But he might just need a little bit, he might need the Jordan Love type of thing, just a little bit more time on the bench to study. I don't know. Or he's just going to be complete trash. So, definitely excited for Kyler.
Yeah, I'm excited for Kyler. I loved Kyler before his injury. I had him in fantasy a lot, and I always envisioned him in purple. I don't know why. I just always thought he was going to be a Viking at some point, and he did. I would like JJ to win the competition. That'd be cool. But it seems like it's Kyler's team, and we're an every other year team. So this is the year.
That's another thing that we do. We have these things that are like, yeah, it's every other year or it's an odd numbered year. We tend to do that. I think we've done the things that we're supposed to do. I think I liked Kwesi when he came in, but obviously things had to change. Um, I like the Juwan Jennings pickup. I think he's going to be a solid wide receiver three. I did have high hopes for. I like Naylor. I think he's a very good wide receiver three. I don't think he's going to be great for the Raiders as a wide receiver one or two, whatever they're bringing him in to be. Um, and I had hopes for Ty Felton. I don't know what Alex thinks. I really liked Ty Felton coming in, but it doesn't look like he's gonna make the cut for. He'll probably be on the team, but I don't think he's going to be much factor on the team. But yeah, lots of hope over here. But as we know.
I think we need to fix a running game for sure.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of the hopes in this draft. We were going to make a little bit more push for like a Jonah Coleman or just somebody a little bit higher up that had some potential, but it doesn't look. We did snag one pretty late, right?
We did, yeah.
I don't even
Claiborne, I
know.
want to say.
Yeah, Claiborne.
Yeah.
They say a lot of good things about Claiborne, but he's a later round draft pick, so those are tough to come out and be successful. So. We're rolling with Old Man Jones for now, and I think we have a decent amount of money next year to play with as well. I think we're one of the top 10 teams for cap space. I could be wrong, but I think we're doing pretty well next year. So I think we might be able to sign somebody off the free agent market if there's anyone available.
What are your guys' thoughts on Hawkinson? I was just looking. He was drafted pretty recently. I feel like it was like 2 years ago that he was a top five like fantasy tight end. I know he got hurt, and it seems like I think the first year kind of expected it to take a little time, but then last year wasn't too great either. Do you think he's washed, or do you think it's something where he just needed more time, or is it just the offense now that they're in that there's not enough targets to go around? What's his deal?
I'm afraid he might be washed, to be honest.
Yeah,
It hurts that the Lions picked Laporta with our pick with that trade too.
Hmm.
yeah. I tend to agree with Alex. I don't think he's got a lot of tank gas left in the tank, but I also think it's like you said, Dan, a little bit of scheme wise too. I think it's just there's a lot of targets to go elsewhere, and Hawk is unfortunately the odd man out in that situation. So I think it's unfortunate.
Mhm. Awesome. Well, appreciate you guys being on. Before we leave, I want to ask you guys, what are we, 6 months out or so? What's your prediction? Do you think you guys are gonna you're in a spot where you can get promoted, you can stay, or you can get relegated based on what you know about your team. We're not even done with the startup draft. What are your predictions for your own team? Promotion, relegation? Are you going to stay put this year?
Um, I can go first, Alex. I think what it had top spots. How many spots go up?
So
Three.
top three are going up, bottom three are going down, and then the two in the middle are staying.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay. I don't think I'm gonna go up or down. My team feels pretty in the middle, not a superstar field team. Like I think I have some advantages. I think Fannon's an excellent tight end, and with the tight end premium, I think it's gonna work out. So, and then with Genty, and I think Cam's gonna be pretty good. I'm kind of weak at wide receiver for sure, and then that extra piece, I don't know where I'm gonna fill in there. So my hopes is to stay. I don't think I definitely don't think I'm going to climb the mountain.
Hmm.
I'm thinking I'm probably gonna stay as well. I would really hope to get to the next near the top level here, but I just got some of my guys are just too risky. Jaden Daniels gets hurt. RJ Harvey, who knows what's going on with him? Who else do I have? My wide receivers, Rasheed Rice. He could be in
Hmm.
jail, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I
No,
got some upside, guys.
yeah, I think that's the only thing that's going to be interesting about this league is just you only have, teams are only so deep, and some teams are deeper than others just because of the way that they set themselves up in the draft. But like, all it's going to take is one or maybe two injuries to really take a team that actually was pretty competitive and make them all of a sudden not really relevant because of 20% of their starting roster being gone with an injury. So I think that'll be interesting, and then seeing what the follow up is. Do they figure out how to make the moves that they need to make and with loans and trades to kind of stay competitive, or do they throw in the towel and start loaning out guys? And yeah, there'll be lots. There's lots of different ways to go and strategies in this league, which will be interesting to see how they play out.
I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
How locked in are you? Are you like checking the messages every time they ping? Are you checking it every 2 hours, just once a day?
Oh
What's
yeah.
the life of Dan like?
Yeah, no, I'm checking pretty consistently. Definitely not every single message, but at least probably every hour or two, checking in and seeing who's been picked, if there's anyone that's been picked, especially when there's like a run and I notice that there's a run of picks, I'll kind of see what's going on. And part of it is, there's some stuff that I have to kind of track manually just because of the complexity of the league. That I'm tracking. So I'm paying attention. It's been yeah, it's been interesting to see. I feel like I'm not as focused in on like who's available or what our team needs and like that kind of thing because there's so many teams. It's hard to know what's going on. And the other thing that's hard is like almost none of the picks are original picks anymore. It's like everyone's picks are a pick that was traded, so it's hard to know exactly who's coming up on the clock and if the pick. But so that's really paying attention to the trades. That's been interesting to see the trades. Just the value is all over the place and no one really knows. And it's interesting to see, occasionally you see someone move up a few spots for a bunch of fab, and then you see someone else do the same thing for like nothing. And it's just, you don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty locked in.
Before we let you go, is it tough for you not being in the league to play?
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like because of how much is going on, I'm glad I'm not playing just because it is a lot to just pay attention to, and I feel like it is nice having someone that's not um part of like especially just I feel like especially in the beginning when we're doing all the rule changes and discussion, it was nice to if I was in the league, I feel like we'd have to have it more of a vote, and then that just causes more issues. So just being able to kind of make decisions and that kind of thing, I feel like it's nice. It makes the league, but it would be fun to play in it. But um, yeah, I don't mind with got a few other leagues that I have that I play in, so I'm still busy with those, which is good. But awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys taking some time tonight and jumping on the podcast, and good luck with the rest of your guys' drafts.
Appreciate it, Dan. Thank you.
You skis out.
Bye, guys.
Dynasty Mountain. The climb to greatness.
To follow more Dynasty Mountain content, follow at Winning Dynasty on TikTok and subscribe for free at winningdynasty.substack.com.